Hi there. It is January 27th, and we have a really gorgeous storm going on up here. Uh, I've heard that it's much worse in New York. Right now, my snow fort has long since been destroyed by all the rain we've been getting up here lately. So now I am cowering for shelter in the greenhouse. Uh, Maybe once this is over, I'll have enough snow to rebuild the snow fort, but for now, I'll just stick to the cowering. So Gray is home from the hospital, which is amazing. Turns out he had E. coli. He still has E. coli, but less of it now, and he'll be on antibiotics for the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be looking after him. So we've made up a schedule so that I can check up on him and make sure that he gets his food and his water and his drugs, and that he doesn't run a fever, make sure that he's being taken care of. Here's something interesting. While he was in the hospital, his chart said M for male under the sex designation. Now, this has never happened to him before. I've never seen that happen to any trans person I know. Other hospitals have always put him under F, arguing that it's less complicated and that prevents misunderstandings. But it's actually caused a lot of complications because nurses and such would be looking all over for a female patient who's nowhere to be seen. At this hospital, they put him down as male, but along with all of his other medical information, they wrote in has internal and external female genitalia. And that seemed to work out okay. Most of the time the gender marker is only there to make sure that you've got the right patient or that they're in the right room. And for those things, it seems like the patient's appearance and their identity is more significant than their biology. There was still a mix-up over whether or not he could pee in a jug. But to me, getting the wrong jug is an easier problem to deal with than getting the wrong patient. So it seems like they just kind of came up with this solution by accident because they've never had to deal with transgendered patients before, and they had no protocol. They just did what made sense, and it worked. So maybe other hospitals could adopt this protocol, because what they've currently got doesn't work. A lot of things have been put on hold while Gray's been sick. Truth be told, I'm the kind of person who gets overwhelmed pretty easily, which is partly an autistic thing, partly just me. So it might take a while to get back on track. Today is definitely a snow day. It's a hunker down and hide from the weather sort of day. A hibernate and sleep and eat good food sort of day. But for the past few months now, I have been trying to set up this artist residency out here. I've got this really nice cottage that I'm renting from my mom, and I just think that this space could be valuable to people. Space is at a premium right now. Most folks I know can't afford their own land, and the cost of renting a space has skyrocketed in the past few years. It's also getting a lot harder to get out of cities. Most jobs have moved to the cities, and we've lost a lot of the infrastructure, like public transit and social services that used to exist in non-urban areas, as more resources have been focused on the cities. So my vision was to just have a space available that would be affordable for folks to get out of the city, especially artists and activists dealing with burnout. Personally, I can't live in a city like Toronto perpetually. After a few months, I get so exhausted, so depressed, that I become completely useless and neurotic, I need to get out into the woods from time to time just to be around trees and living things. I need to be outdoors. I also need to get away from the constant scrutiny that happens in cities. When I'm in the city, I feel like I'm always performing. I'm always being judged for my performance, which is hard because I screw up a lot. I like being out of the city because there's more opportunities for self-reflection, for being present in the moment, in your body, and remembering who you are, without all the criticism and expectations of other people. I also find that urban communities can become very insular. It can be too easy to spend all your time with a small group of friends who agree with you on everything, and you're constantly reinforcing one another's opinions, never being challenged with different perspectives. Often, people in these scenes end up condemning other worldviews or refusing to interact with people who have other worldviews. And I've seen this happen a lot, especially in smaller communities like the trans scene or the punk scene within urban spaces, where people become so accustomed to having their own opinions and their worldviews reinforced that they lose touch with what's going on outside of their scene. They become very hostile towards dissent. They don't develop conflict management skills, and they get very caught up in something called the narcissism of petty differences. And ultimately, these scenes become cannibalistic, they turn against themselves, and they often get caught up in lateral violence. So being out here, I feel like there's more space to develop my ideas based on my personal experiences and interactions with my environment, instead of basing them on what my friends think or on what's popular right now. Getting out here away from the manufactured environment of the city really helps me to remember what's what. I find that there's a lot more requirement on the individual to give and take, to compromise. It's something I love about trees, about the environment in general. You know, it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't criticize or condemn you for your identity, but it does demand respect constantly. And you know, if you don't respect the ocean isn't going to hold a grudge, but it is going to make you face the consequences. And I think that teaches a better way of relating, not just to the environment, but to other people, to everything in the world. And so that's something that I find lacking in urban areas, and something that I miss when I'm not here. So I guess with this residency retreat thing, I would like to offer what I've found here to other people who might benefit from it. I'd be very interested in hearing other people's thoughts or advice on how to use the space. I've got one more month here. That's 1 month to get the word out, to get people engaged, and hopefully get people out here. So we'll see how that goes. For the time being, like I said, things are a little bit slow. A lot of my energy is being focused on taking care of Gray, but hopefully I'll be able to get back to work on that, and I'm, chipping away at the work that needs to be done. Okay, so that's all for now. Time to head back out into the storm, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye.